Is that clear for me?
Yeah. Right. No, you're good. You're good. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Give me 3 seconds.
Okay.
Dude, this is rather drastic.
Right,
we're starting really early compared to last week.
Time's up.
It's true.
No. Welcome back to a regular episode of the Common Ground Podcast, your favorite podcast. We talk about your favorite format, Pauper. This is episode 101. I am your co-host, Cameron Schindler, joined as always by two very popperish boys.
What's that supposed to mean?
Very popperish boys. You're popping around. I catch y'all on the streets. Thomas! Go on, how are you doing?
I'm good. I had a fun moment of neighborly love last night, where Han and I were just chilling on the couch after just I had a full day off yesterday. It was Sunday, like my one full day off after like a long week of the last week of busy season at work. And we're just chilling on the couch. I'd done some like baking and stuff, and we're cleaning the house. And we get a knock on the door, and we're like, "Who's knocking on the door?" And I looked at the peephole, and I was like, I don't recognize this person. And I opened the door. As this young woman's outside the door. She's like, "Hey, hanging out with one of your neighbors. Do you have a couple sticks of butter?"
Oh yeah.
And like we're trying to make cookies, and I was like, "Yeah, come on."
It's like a movie.
Yeah, right. It was a real thing, but it was really nice. She came in, said hello, chit chatted for a hot sec. We had a couple extra sticks of butter because we just went food shopping. I had just made banana bread, so I sent her with a couple pieces of banana bread back to her and her friend, who actually happened to be our next door neighbor, who we've met a couple times, and so it was a fun little moment.
That's cool.
Nice.
So she said she was going to bring over cookies, and we haven't seen the cookies yet.
I'd be knocking on that door. I'd be hammering that door.
She said
down.
they were making cinnamon roll cookies, and I was like, it's perfect.
Oh my god,
it's perfect for me. But that's okay.
Cinnamon roll cookies.
Yeah, I had plenty of sugary dessert stuff yesterday. Though it was a very snacky sort of day at the Thomas and Hannah house. But no, I'm good. I'm doing well. It's nice and cold. It snowed. It's been snowy today. It's been really nice.
Snow and little flurries.
Look like a little snow globe out there today.
Yeah, it was
They
great.
come look out my office window. Look, a little snow globe.
Yeah,
It didn't stick
really
very
happy.
much. Also, James Hippo, how are you doing?
I'm doing all right.
Doing all right.
I'm doing all right. I am
surviving the cold.
I had a little news this morning to perk my day up a little bit.
What happened?
There was like a ban and restricted announcement for this game called Magic: The Gathering. You ever heard of it?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I think I have.
You happy about the VV bans finally?
That's not the part that I have any interest in. I just simply, for all my friends who play Standard, I'm happy for you that VV is banned.
Honestly, I'm happy that WotC decided to ban a fairly new Universes Beyond card, because that can be, I imagine, a lot of like company or like product pressure to not do that. Yeah. And the fact that they did what I think is probably the best decision for Standard.
What else did
to
they
do that?
do? It was like
Screaming Nemesis and Proph's Eidetic Memory.
Okay, I don't care.
Okay.
But anyway, who cares about Standard?
Yeah, and the Legacy folks got a little bone thrown to them as well. I thought that was kind of cool.
Pioneer catching strays.
Did it?
Yeah. Heartfire Hero
got banned. Yeah.
It's kind of interesting they acknowledge that format even. Just like
that is kind of funny. It's like, oh, we forgot this existed for a minute. Here you go.
Yeah.
Huh.
And it was like modern, no changes. Modern's actually good.
Yeah,
Weird.
maybe it's a nod they're not done with Pioneer.
I hope not. Pioneer's sick.
I don't care. Anyway, on the plate, that's what we got. We're going to talk about the High Tide ban, and then, of course, we got a little bit of Avatar spoilers, but kind of good we got something to talk about in the ban, because, man, these spoilers aren't very spoiling.
No,
they're spoiling.
they aren't.
There you go.
I would almost not be
But-
surprised if all of our cards are exactly the same.
I'm okay with that. Again, if there's going to be 6 trillion sets a year, if
some of them are not
most sets
bangers.
aren't breaking through, not every set's a banger, like you said, Hippo. Yeah, I'm very okay with that. With the inflation of cards we have in the format. Yeah, I combined the two words, made my own word.
Language is ever evolving. That's
Yeah.
something you constantly try to beat in my head.
Cameron, that's my legendary creature name. Cameron, Arbiter of English.
Arbiter of English.
What? Cameron, Arbiter of Numbers. After your last episode.
After last episode. A lot of people really enjoyed that one.
They thought it was very funny.
They really enjoyed that part of it.
It was just like the numbers in front of my numbers that were confusing me. But yeah, High Tide got banned. It is November 10th, 2025. It got unbanned on March 31st, March 30th. of the same year.
Something like that.
So, very short-lived. In the original article, they mentioned that they're doing 2 trial bans in Prophetic Prism and High Tide. Prophetic Prism sees some play in some decks. Not that big of a deal. Very fine.
Cool
High Tide gave birth to the High Tide combo deck. There's people you can look up, watch the video. It'll be linked in the description below, but I'm not going to repeat the same explanations of why they decided to ban or unban the card. Just that they went off some like win rate data, which can be a little hard to scrape anyway.
So they went off of win rate data. They went off of literal player experience, and then an overall tournament experience.
And I don't know. I am a little torn between it because it's a deck that, in my experience in like tournaments, hasn't really like. I've played against it in like locals and stuff before. What tournament was that?
Was the trios event?
It was a trios event. There we go. And so I like played against it for playing for cash and stuff, and beat the crap out of me and sat there for a little bit. It wasn't like I had a blast playing against it, but there's a lot of decks that you can like sit down across from and not have a blast playing against it. I think it is like the monopolization of both players' time.
Yeah, I don't love when just one player can just hold the clock. That seems very unfair to me. Without like a bunch of like at some point you just are not passing priority, like you're just doing stuff because your opponent can't do anything. Mm-hmm. And at least when you're like casting spells and stuff, that your opponent has the opportunity to do stuff. That's always been my biggest argument for it.
Yeah, and I guess I do feel a little bit for the people that do enjoy like that. They really like I get how Gavin said it is out of hand combo deck, so not just like. It is different from like spy combo deck. It feels different from like
because it's a
combo.
graveyard combo.
Yeah.
Creature combo, how Basking Brood Scale was.
Yeah, it does feel like out of hand combo. It's like there's not quite something that feels the same in this format. What was the other version with like the enchant lands and your psychopath?
The like Market Festival or whatever.
Yeah, that was just terrible High Tide before High Tide existed.
I mean, it's a 4 mana enchantment, so it's not like ruining worlds at 4 mana. It's pretty easy to interact with that.
But yeah, so I do get the people like it. I do get it where I think there's a fine balance between this deck isn't fun to play against and like that impact on somebody versus okay, does that mean it's bannable? And I think that's a really hard line to follow. And maybe this is a card that shouldn't have ever just been unbanned, but how do you know?
I mean, they very clearly alluded to that this is what was going to happen with that video that the Solarian Community College posted, right? I mean, the end of that video
is like that little
literally Gavin giving Prof like a miserable experience. Like that's kind of that was what that was for sure.
Yeah, and I don't know. We were talking about it on our Discord today, and a lot of people like make parallels to the deck like Fog, and like that's a deck like I enjoy. So like I get it. It's like I'd be upset if like my favorite deck of the format got banned. And that was like someone's like that's a deck that I can understand if someone's like, yeah, I hate playing against Fog. I don't really blame you. You know, I'm not gonna argue. I'm not gonna sit there and argue against someone. Like, dude, Fog is super fun to play.
It's fun to play against. Yeah, no.
Yeah, no. Same thing with High Tide. Like, again, like it sucks, but. I think it kind of does come back around to this monopolization of the clock, and I won't beat a dead horse, but yeah.
Yeah, I think mine was just the combination of the two things you said: monopolization of the clock, mine's the monopolization of the clock plus it being really hard to interact with once that happens. Mm-hmm. Where something I have less problems with things like Cycling Storm. There are way more ways to stop them from doing what they do.
You can interact with the graveyard.
You can interact with. There are so many ways in the format to interact with the graveyard. Mm-hmm. I'm just so far less concerned. Like, yes, I'm sure that sickos like Bryant Cook are just going to outplay anybody with some like their pieces of graveyard hate. That's fine. Whatever. Like, if your deck can beat graveyard hate, then your deck beat graveyard hate. Then we move on to a new problem. Magic players just are going to have a problem with whatever uninteractive combo deck exists, and I'll be the first to raise my hand that I'm one of those people. No.
Yeah. The points of interaction on this deck are a lot harder to hit.
Yes.
You either need the clock and hand disruption or the counter magic.
So this is a format that's traditionally just like had a combo deck be a problem, because none of the mid-range decks can deal with it very well, and there's no guarantee that even the aggressive decks can handle the combo, and they've gotten rid of the combo every time. Right.
To the point where even the mono red decks, not only because of the presence of the Tolarian Terror decks, but also because High Tide exists, playing like a full 8 red blasts in their sideboard, because they have to. You have to be able to just counter anything relevant out of the High Tide deck, not to mention be prepared for the prevalence of Terror, Fairies, etc. Rather than for the longest time, mono red was just playing, it was just 4, just like 4, maybe 6. But now it's like, no, you play the full 8, because you got to also be ready for this.
I do think there should exist a deck that beats the crap out of the super fair mid-range decks. It's if you're just going to try to outgrind every single matchup, I feel like there needs to be a deck that punishes you in the format.
I think there are decks like that already do exist.
I agree,
which is a great place to be. Because even like I'm cool with
what are some of those decks though? Then I guess for like the listener, if like someone
I think my first like big one is like Altertron. It's like it's a deck that goes bigger than you already, and it's a combo deck. Like it's kind of hard. It's a little bit harder to interact with. I mean, it's still you need to put a mirror. You get a mirror retriever back from their graveyard. The graveyard part still exists. That's going to exist with any of these. But like, it is a deck that does two of the things that beat it. Okay. Because it has a combo and it is a big mana deck.
So I guess for the people that have like that combo itch that really want to go over these mid-range decks, like Altertron exists.
Yeah, Cycling Storm still exists.
Cycling Storm.
That's going to be the closest. That's the closest approximation.
Poison Storm, and then honestly Fog too is another deck that just spanks mid-range decks.
Yeah, it spanks. Yeah, if the goal is to do that, then yeah, Fog for sure.
You're out of bounds with your Blood Fountains and your Writhing Crystals. Get over here. Let me teach you a lesson.
Yeah. That's fine. I totally make no qualms of any of the even just like the ones that you can interact with on a much easier axis. This is that's for been my biggest point with this the entire time. The ITI was allowed to exist because just his points of interaction were not very good. So
my whole thought with High Tide being banned is I am generally pro this decision. I think High Tide is a very cool thing to do. I mean, even James, you had it on your list of cool interactions for last week's episode.
Yeah, I think it's cool even in other formats.
Yeah.
Like it's a really relic-y style legacy deck. That's very cool to me.
Yeah.
But again, the interaction points are different. You have Force of Will, you have Force of Negation, things that just that keep days, a Delver, things that keep the thing in check a lot more efficiently and a lot more prevalent in the format. Force of Will. You're not going to go to a legacy tournament and not play against the card Force of Will.
Right.
You just will not.
Right. So, I'm all for this being like all for it being cool and like a neat thing to do, and I'm not trying to dunk. I don't think any of us are trying to dunk on any combo players here. We've listed some alternatives. We listed, that we do think there should be some amount of balance between the different format archetypes of aggro control, combo, mid-range,
we've all
whatever.
fell in love with our combo decks in various formats.
Another one that I think that beats up a mid-range deck, like if people start playing a ton of bridges, play Infect. Like seriously, we just have people at like our locals that play Infect, and they just dumpster people that play a turn one bridge. I'm like, good luck.
Yeah, Devin played 2 tap bridges and died.
Yeah, Devin was on the draw. His opponent went turn 1 Glistener Elf passed. Devin's like bridge, and pass back. Turn 2, it's embiggen, mutagenic growth. He just died. Like nice bridge deck, idiot. So like, there's definitely ways to beat up on the bridge decks that are not by Giga Drowsing your opponent out of their
right, and the other like aggro and mid-range decks can also just like I think Grixis Affinity is a favorable matchup for burn. Like there's a lot of matchups that they have tools obviously on either side, but I think that red is favored in that matchup. Like I don't.
The push and pull is fun.
Yeah, the push and pull is fun. I don't think it's going to be like there's already some talk about like, oh, it's just back to mid-range soup and that's boring or whatever. Like I really think there's a lot more nuance going on in the format. Like people haven't even really fully cracked the mono black sacrifice deck, and that's kind of its own like aggro engine combo. Aggro combo
Spy
deck.
being one of the best decks too.
Spy is easily one of the best decks. Yeah, there's a lot going on right now.
I mean, they said they're keeping their eye on that one as well, because the shell around it is just so good now.
Yeah,
that it's slight cause for concern. But I think that deck is also way easier to interact with because you're like something like Fog can actually stop that deck from doing what it does pretty well. Like you just land a Crypt Rats, put it on the table, and go good luck. Right?
Yeah, I think it's a 2-part. You need that and Graveyard Hate.
Yeah,
yeah. It doesn't feel hopeless.
No, as is like High Tide does.
So.
Yeah. But like that all being said, I think for me, I'm glad about this decision mostly because of the kind of divisiveness of this deck existing within the community, and that what that has kind of caused is there's just been this like, oh no, it's fine. High Tide's totally fine. You can get it down to like a 6-minute combo turn, a 10-minute combo turn. Like in my mind, that's already a little too long. And like the point we mentioned, I think I brought it up like a turn or like a turn or two ago, a week or two ago.
That's hilarious.
A week or two ago of sometimes people like to try out new decks a lot in Pauper because there's a lot of cool things to do, and you can build up a Pauper collection fairly quickly compared to other formats. So like if you're playing, it might be the first time you're playing High Tide, and even if you're doing it quickly, it's gonna feel a little clunky the first time. So there's a lot of those steps, and it just seems to be it's a hot button issue for the community, and I think that it's not. There's a camp of folks who are saying this happens with every ban in every format, that Wizards is being influenced by the complaining of a vocal minority of people who are just complaining about variants or things they don't like rather than actual data or actual games or whatever. Like at the end of the day, I think it's way more important to just look at what is at the core. What is Pauper? What is the Pauper as a format? And I think it is a community-driven format first, and then a competitively driven format second.
Yeah.
And I think that Pauper, Cube, even Legacy and Vintage to an extent, these formats that are competitive and can be competitive. I think Pauper is maybe the best example here, where it's about so much of the progress and the tournaments that do happen come from the community. They're not necessarily, there's like a 3-rounder on a Sunday at these SCG cons or whatever, and that's like it until like folks like us and upstate New York Pauper and the Tacoma folks and like folks popping Alex and just in the Midwest, like a lot of people coming together and just making their own there's so many of these little Pauper groups that are now springing up, and it's cool to be a part of that and see that. And I think with that being said, I think we need to make sure that we all we can feel different ways about whether or not we liked High Tide, whether we enjoyed playing or sitting down watching our opponent play with themselves for 15 minutes or not. But at the end of the day, I think we have to make a decision that's going to be best for the format and the community as a whole. And I think removing this both as both a hot button issue that can be very divisive and get potentially tempers flared, and I don't like seeing that, and then also the issue of, well, this is just logistically and just in terms of a play experience, just for more people than not, just like really not a fun experience. Yeah. And at the end of the day, this format should be about fun first and then competitive integrity after. Yeah. Personally, I think.
I get you. And more so on that last thing too. I agree more with the last thing. The divisiveness part, I'm kind of iffy on, just because if we banned every hot topic issue, like we wouldn't have Bridges, we wouldn't have Tolarian Terror. I feel we wouldn't really have a format left if we banned everything that caused a little bit of stir of emotion, just because you can't get 100 people to sit down and agree on one thing.
No, if you try to please everybody, you end up pleasing nobody.
Exactly. So no matter like how you cut the turkey, right? I
just think that this one felt very unique to me, where this one in particular just felt very unique to me, where everyone has their like, oh, I wish this would get banned, this would get banned. It's like a throwaway thing of like, oh, they should ban the Bridges, and then like we move on. But like this one, people like, I feel like people really dug their heels in with this one, one way or the other.
I definitely, it did feel a little bit more heated than other things too, and I'm definitely on the side of ban. The shorter the ban list, the better the format. Yeah. And obviously there's...
Because like competitively, I don't think it was a problem.
Same. I know another point that Gavin made in his video is that... I lost my thought. I don't remember.
But it was about High Tide.
It was about High Tide.
Yeah, Yeah, I think that's a very hard line to walk on.
Right. It's going to be different every time.
I don't want to say like people complaining, but it's a hard needle to thread versus like people complaining and hearing those opinions and hearing those voices and getting good things to work with out of them.
Because I know that for me personally, it's going to be clouded by my want to feel empathy towards people and like how I am interpreting their position and how I want to express mine. And so that, of course, is going to cloud things for the better more often than not. But it is adding bias to my position. Of course, I got to recognize that too.
Yeah. Again, it's a hard line to walk. Thoughts? They mentioned in the ban article / video that Terror and Spy
were on the table.
Thoughts on those?
I do have one on the Terror one, and it was mentioned. I don't remember who. Apologies, in the Discord earlier today, was that really does like kind of shut off the opportunity for the more like blue controlling decks, as far as not even just like the offshoots of mono blue Terror, specifically like blue black and blue red. Those are my biggest ones. The fact that those wouldn't exist like that's not cool. Like, I think those are cool decks. I think those are very like specifically cool decks. They just do a thing particularly well. Like, I know when Tolarian Terror first came out, like Jay, our buddy Jay, was like very, very high on his, like, he had a brew at the time, was like a very high on his version of Blue Black Terror, which had Grim Egglinger, and I kept sitting there, I was like those two cards just don't interact with each other. It's like they just kind of don't work together. And then I like got my teeth kicked in. Like, oh, okay, maybe they do.
Yeah, if you play one and then the other, they work great.
So maybe like a mental note Thought Scour ban. One of those, so mono blue became harder.
No, I don't even know. I think that would be like a Lorien Revealed problem. More than anything. I think Lorien Revealed is like part of the reason.
It'd be so strange if to have the one of the cycle band.
Yeah, but I mean they did it in Legacy too. Right?
Yeah,
the troll is not causing nearly as many issues in the format as Lorien. I'm not even saying that Lorien Revealed causing issues. I'm just saying like it causes.
That would be a point you could choose because you can't hit Counterspell. No. I don't think you can hit Brainstorm.
I don't want to hit the framework of the format. That's not what I'm looking for.
Right.
Like the cantrips, the Counterspells.
And I think Lorien's a framework of the format at this point.
I think so, but I'm talking further back as far as like a framework for the format. I mean, I'm talking like just at a core level, what is Pauper? Like Counterspell, Brainstorm, for the cantrips. Like those. That's my framework. Yes, it has become a part of the framework. I think it is one that could like take a little bit from it. Do I really want to do that? Not really, because I think I love having it as a card. I think it's a very cool card. Not saying that, but I think that's kind of one of the like problems. If you don't want to if you still want to have like the turbo variant of mono blue, but not have it be as consistent by having a spell land in your deck like that. That's kind of the thing, but it's also, but it does fuel the...
I feel mental note Thought Scour could put that down a peg too.
Variants yeah, you could. I just think I like the very specific identities of what they're doing, unless you just want to ban one and not the other. One of the... That seems... But then that seems disingenuous too. It's like... You're just
Are you talking about like banning Cryptic Serpent?
No. I'm talking about if you're banning one of the two.
Oh, yeah, Mental Note Thought Scour.
Or Thought Scour. It's like, I don't know, I think you would just do both. But then, again, it kind of loses its identity as the deck that it currently is.
And you could replace those. Like, you could play Careful Study. You could play Otherworldly Gaze. Consider.
What's the draw 2, discard 2 that's a single blue from
Careful Study.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to lose like the variations of like the deck. So that's my only issue.
I wouldn't want to lose the deck altogether.
I don't want to lose the deck altogether either. I think it is. I'm not saying it is bad. I've never said it is bad to have a best deck in a format. I've never ever said that. We'll never say it.
Yeah, and we never want to get to the point where what's the best thing in the format? Okay, it needs to be banned. Okay, what's next? It needs to be taken down. Okay, it needs to be taken down.
That's not reasonable.
No, that's not a fun cycle ever to get into. Right. And I feel Terror is one of those things where if you really want to beat it, you can. I guess like same thing of like High Tide, but I feel there's a different... Relic is a card that can go in any deck.
Kill spells are still good. Like Cast Down is still fine against a Tolarian Terror.
Tithing Blade's very good against
it. Yeah, Tithing Blade's very good. You know, like a traditional interaction is still good against terror fairies,
most of
the madness variants. Like it's still those regular interaction points that almost every deck plays are good against them. And as much as that, you can make the argument that maybe the combo deck should be on an axis where it gets to sidestep a lot of that. Like that's part of the appeal of playing things like Fog, where you just don't care about removal spells from your opponent. And those decks exist, and some of them absolutely should. But when it's just so polarizing. We talked about a while ago how like there is some good polarization in the format, but I think that you get to when it's so polarized in combination with a poor play, like an unfun play experience.
I will say, pour one out for my fairies homies.
Yeah, I know it was a really good matchup.
Get rid of their best matchup in the format.
Man, Spellstutter Sprite never looked so good.
I know.
And Terror's one of those things too where I've played a lot of interesting games against it. You and I played quite a few games against Ponza, and it was always this fun race. Same thing with like Madness, it was always this fun race. But games have felt like really close, and a lot of matchups, I couldn't tell you who was favored versus Terror. I felt it was very down to draws and play skill, honestly.
Yeah, it's a very skill testing deck.
I think. I mean, personally, I'm cool with Terror just always existing as a best deck because I tend to like the decks that just already are good against it. Those are just like the play style of decks I like.
And Hippo, you and I are not biased on that too. Like, again, like you and I
we're
are
biased,
like,
but
yeah, of course we're biased, but we're not like big Terror heads.
No. Just not my. I mean, I've played it. I've played all the variations of it or whatever, but I have not played Bant Terror yet. But
we need to put our money where our mouths are.
I do.
You need to look at the maybe board of your terror list.
The maybe board.
Yeah.
Your maybe board.
Yeah. In the considering section, there's a there's a considering section.
I didn't look at my mocks.
Well,
like
I'll leave that.
I'm sure you
should look at it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, you should check out there's some cards to consider there. One card in particular.
Okay. But we tend to play things that are just not particularly weak to Terror necessarily. We tend to both play good decks that are good against it usually. So I'm fine. I mean, obviously I'm fine with it, but again, that's just a bias. But
what about Spy?
This one is a little tougher. I think I'm fine with it. It's getting very dangerously close to the position that Brutescale found itself in, but I think it is way easier to stop it from doing what it does.
It's
so much easier.
Yeah, that's one of the key things that I enjoy about Pauper is that everyone just can get access to Relic of Progenitus. And as much as the deck has ways to play around it, especially in paper, if you have things like Rust to like counter it.
Well, specifically the versions now are all playing, all the wall decks or Spy decks are all wall decks, basically. At this point,
either
so
walls
like,
and or elf, like some like they're all playing like Querying Ranger plus like some of the elves
plus some way to make a ton of mana.
Yeah. There's like a whole bunch of stuff going on now.
Yeah, the framework is there, so it's just turned into like a mid-range pile basically at this point because they've started to add things like Avenging Hunter so that you just have something else to do in case your spy plan doesn't work.
Yeah.
So there's a bunch of different options. But I can say it's dangerously close to that like ubiquitous place that Brutescale was.
What do you mean by not by win rate?
No.
Okay.
I'm not saying by win rate.
Okay.
I'm talking about just the
feels like the best combo deck to do.
It's definitely the best, and I'm not saying that it needs to go. I am absolutely not saying that.
No, it's really cool.
I think it's a cool deck to exist. It's, again, gives me very Splinter Twin vibes. It's like you must stop the things around it, but you also must always be prepared for the thing to occur.
Yeah.
That is fine with me. I'm okay with that.
I think that Balustrade Spy has some pedigree as it's been banned in a couple other formats before.
Correct.
For doing that and Undercity format, which was the uncommon version essentially.
Adds to the legacy light of the format.
Yeah, you know.
I agree. I like it. I like it being here.
And it's a cool effect. Like 4 mana to do it is like not a easy when you have 4 lands in your deck plus mana dorks, like 4 mana to Balustrade Spy is an ask. You know, that's puts it at risk of counter spells.
And I think the way that the particular ones, the current lists are constructed, like it's a lot easier to stop them from doing that on turn 2, turn 3, or not gonna do it turn 2, but turn 3, whatever.
How the walls deck's constructed, it's not if they have 4 lands in play and play Balustrade Spy, they don't win the game. They can't make mana from the yard and
no.
So how the deck.
You don't need to make mana from the yard.
Yeah, but that's how that deck's constructed right now. If they have 4 mana and just play Spy, they don't win the game. Is what I'm saying.
If they have 2 other creatures in play, they do.
Yep.
Yeah,
I'm saying if you have 4 mana, just 4 mana and nothing else in play, you don't.
Oh, well, that rarely happens.
Oh, yeah,
but that's another interaction point you can play.
Right, yeah, you just like clean up the creatures.
And that's not something they do. They don't. It doesn't rarely happen. It never happens because they don't just play Spy and mill themselves over and kill themselves. Like they're not just.
I've seen people just run up Illustrated Spy with like 1 or 2 lands left in their deck. It happens all the time.
No, I'm saying they don't run it out to kill themselves. Is what I'm saying.
No.
Like they don't play it unless they're going for the
rarely. I would say.
Okay,
I'm not going to say it's 0.
Okay. But I'm much more comfortable. I'm much more comfortable with something like this happening than Brood Scale. Like the protection points on Brood Scale were kind of insane. Like it was not particularly a fun time for a lot of different people. So I'm fine with that. This one, it is just a mid-range deck. It is just a creature deck that does just lose to removal spells. Like play Gardens. I don't think Gardens can lose to this deck. I'll be real. Like I don't think in a 3 match or a 3 game set, I do not think that Gardens is going to lose to this very often.
Yeah.
For what that's worth. So you just play I'm not just just play removal spells, but like every deck's got to have kind of almost most decks kind of ubiquitously have to have a removal spell. Like
and some amount
of
interaction.
Point your lightning bolts at creatures, point your Thraben Charms at creatures, or you can hold it for the graveyard.
Or the graveyard.
But there are so many things that stop the Spy deck from doing the thing it does. It does have an interaction. Like it doesn't have this really awkward interaction point. Like its interaction is it makes enough mana on the creatures on the table, and then it puts a creature from the graveyard into play. Like those are 2 things that are about the format all over. But that's this. I don't think it's enough to stop this one.
I think it puts a good pressure on the format too. You can't just sit here and dawdle around all day. You do have to interact with me in some way, or have multiple points of interaction against me. It's good. I will try to win. I can try to win the game on turn 4, 5, and 6, and I think that's okay. If you just want the game to go to turn 16, you should be punished for that, and by some deck. And the deck's really cool. It's a satisfying combo to pull off, like milling your Horde graveyard over and a Lot Live Giant. Getting to the point where you cast a Lot Live Giant's pretty cool. I think the mid-range plan on it's really cool. The backup plan's super reasonable. It seems like I haven't played it yet. I've seen Silly Centilli play it a ton. Yeah. I think it's a really cool deck to have in the format. I'd be kind of upset if that did get banned, because there's always going to be a best combo deck. If you're upset that that's the combo deck to play, well, if you ban this combo deck,
another combo deck is just going to have to be the default combo deck. That's just
it's just going to happen.
Yeah.
And I think the only reason that didn't happen with High Tide is because people didn't know if it was getting banned or not. So why invest the time in learning the deck if you don't know if a deck's going to stick around? Otherwise, I don't think we'd see Spy. I think we would just see High Tide.
I mean, yeah, it's possible.
So,
I mean, people also just playing
graveyard creature decks.
Yeah.
High Tide is one of those things. There are, and that's combo decks in general. There's a certain percentage of people that just will not play them. So
yeah,
I'm saying once you signed up to play a combo deck, if you care that much about winning, you'd probably just choose High Tide.
And the good news is that we do get some data back pretty quickly. This is a big Pauper week on Moto, so
yeah.
I don't think much is going to change.
I think people's sideboards will look a bit
change.
different. Like Jund doesn't have to play a million duresses in its wake, so
yeah.
Things like that. So he gets to play different points of it.
Better watch out for Poison Storm, though.
Yeah. Sure.
I did get in a nice loss to High Tide this morning, though, before the announcement. my Black Affinity deck.
Yeah. Had to get one last beating. And
oh, yeah. Oh, I got crushed.
I will have no more beatings of that.
Gross. Yeah.
Don't ban Spy. Deck's cool.
I agree. Don't
also,
ban Spy.
It was a trial. It was a trial unban.
That was the purpose.
Though
I will
roll the seriousness back a little bit.
Though my one thing on that is they did say it was 2 months. Didn't they initially say it was 2 months or something like that?
They did say they were going to give a concrete answer quicker. They kind of did. They kind of danced around.
They did dance around.
Which I can get that
trying to make everybody happy kind of thing. And it's okay.
I can get that frustration for sure.
Yeah. That's my only thing.
But we knew it might have been short for this world, so if you really enjoyed it and enjoyed it while it lasts,
yeah.
What makes things beautiful are that they go away.
Eventually. Except for me.
What is that?
I've been here the whole time.
That's a song lyric.
Except for me.
No, but
You know why?
what makes things beautiful is that they go away.
Except for me. You know why? Because I have my tray table up.
Let's
In the
Let's go.
full fry position.
Let's go master some elements.
All right. R.I.P. High Tide. Moving on.
Rest in peace.
Not legal.
Glad that's not legal.
I'm so glad it's not legal.
Me too.
Cool. So Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Set's cool.
Set does look cool.
Cool looking set.
Of all the universes beyond, this is to me one of the lesser of offenders.
There are some art that there's better arts than other arts.
Ooh,
Yeah,
yeah, there is
some
one
cartoony stuff.
There is
but that's fine.
one like frame or style of card that they're using that I am just like, this is actually hideous.
Are you talking about like the screen grabs from the actual show?
Yep.
Yeah, some of them
Those
just
look
someone's face.
because like somebody one of them is
Yeah.
like what not demonic tutor or some tutor, cruel tutor.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, that looks
The guy's
fucking
face.
terrible.
It's just a face.
Like it looks awful.
Yeah. Some of them do not. I'm not big on that style of frame. Some of them work better than other. And
They're
I'm
not
curious.
even high res either.
No,
It's
they're like
very-
bad.
Are they not in person
No.
too?
I mean, the
know.
Final
See, I
Fantasy ones weren't either.
Oh God.
So
That's
So-
icky.
yeah,
Hate
it's
that.
weird.
With that being said,
Yeah.
this is not a particularly heavy set for us this
But
time.
not
Correct.
not those, but the other showcase frames. Some of them are freaking sick.
Some of the some of the
Especially
cards
if-
look very cool. Those are the ones I'm like, nah.
Did you watch the show?
Yeah, as a kid.
Did you see the show?
I saw a few episodes here and there.
What was
I didn't watch, like,
cruel,
regular
cruel
anything.
act of them like taking Appa, like cruel act or heartless act
Yeah.
of them like taking Appa and just like dragging him off
I
like
didn't
that.
watch it,
And
super-
that's like the art is that, and it's not a screen grab. It's actually like pretty art. of
Yeah.
it.
Oh.
It's super sick. There's I can't remember it's a black uncommon limited removal spell, destroy something with power, vanquish the weak, I think, and it's like Azula all like tied up or whatever, like she's like tied up screaming or whatever because she was like losing her damn mind in the last episode. There's some really cool freaking arts in the set, so
Yeah, that's
those
cool.
are not common. I don't think. Well, maybe some of those are common, but not Heartless Act.
But we do have some commons to talk about.
I will
Just a
actually
handful.
I will start off the top because I do want to make a mention
Okay.
that I think we do not have context enough to give a full real shakedown of what these cards can do, because we don't know how good the like bending cards are.
We don't have
Sure.
a
I don't-
ton of bending either.
No,
Not
we
a
don't.
cheat,
but
too.
but I'm saying I did see some cards. I'm like, okay, that's interesting. Like that could be interesting. And I didn't go back and like relook at everything again, but I did think about that. I was like, okay, before we like kind of just, I'm gonna give my fair warning of I probably don't have a lot of cards based on that alone.
Right. Kind of similar to
if some of those are better than that, then you've heard it here. Happy to be wrong.
kind of similar to your approach with Warp with Edge of Eternity. Like,
Yes.
want to call some of these out. They may not immediately see play, but
Yeah.
it's cool that like this mechanic exists.
Epic
and these
Downfall
are cool.
was the card I was thinking of. Sorry,
Epic
Oh, okay.
that was gonna bug the crap.
that
out
was
of me.
from Throne.
the go look at the art.
originally.
Sick. Sorry.
Yeah. Cool.
Who wants to start?
But
it?
that's my full
I
version.
want to mention that too. I was looking for cheap Earthbend stuff.
Yeah.
Because if you put that one in the fetchables, it comes back
The fetchables.
like a fetch.
Oh, like
MH3, like you know how we have
Oh,
the fetches from MH3?
yes, the
Not fetches, but the tri fetches or
Sure.
whatever you want
that,
to call
the
them.
landscapes.
The landscapes. If you Earthbend one of those, you can sack it and it'll come back tapped because of the Earthbend ability, which is pretty cool. But there wasn't like a 1 mana like
Earthbend. for, like, a
Earthbend
single
one
counter
time
or whatever. Yeah.
Because that could be cleansing wildfire in a weird way.
Ish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One half of it.
Yeah.
If we had green Earthbend 1, you'd have cleansing wildfire for 1 without
That'd be
the
pretty
draw
cool.
part. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was kind of looking for that, and there wasn't anything that seemed super good for that. Yeah, I guess. Who wants to start us off with the first one?
Well, I don't have any. If we want to go in color order, I don't have any white cards.
I put one on here because it's a modal card. Shocking.
Oh.
It's Sandbender Storm. I'm not calling it. It's great. 3 and a white for an instant. It's a store target creature with power 4 or greater, and it has Earthbend 3. My one thing I did think about this is this is a card that either like from like specifically like familiars and like Jeskai Ephemerate might be interested in, because like specifically Jeskai Ephemerate because they have the indestructible lands, and this is a cool card that you could loop with like Archaeomancer. I don't know, kind of cool card.
Okay, gotcha.
This is my 1 white card.
There's 1 way to Earthbend for 2 mana in the format. So I'll get to that when we get to it. I'll mention it. I'll throw it in there.
Great.
Okay. The 1 white card. There was also a white 2/2 ETBs tapped. Curving that in the Spider-Man's pretty funny. You have a 2/2, get him for 2, and you play Spider-Man.
You can just play Thraben.
Then you have a 3/3 on turn 2. I agree. I
was like, I got to do that with Thraben Inspector this past week. Sick.
But it's kind of funny to play a 2/2 on turn 1 than a 3/3 on turn 2.
That's kind of funny.
But then you play 2/2 again. That's actually not a bad curve, because then on turn 2 you play with 3/3 and the 2/2.
There you go.
Oh wait, web slinging says return a tapped creature.
Mm-hmm.
So on turn 1 you could play Thraben Inspector. Turn 2 you play the 2/2 and you play Spider-Man. You return the 2/2 to your hand immediately, so it doesn't even need to attack.
Correct.
Interesting. Okay. Huh. Or turn 1 you play the tap 2/2.
What is this tapped 2/2 you're talking about?
I probably should just mention the name at this point, right?
I don't
think
know
so.
what you're talking about.
I also have no idea what you're talking about.
It's from one of the sets.
One of the
That's really helpful.
I don't make the sets.
from Avatar.
really helpful.
Yes, it's not from the main set, but it's a common.
Oh.
It's from the stupid Air Wings. Did you guys look at all the cards?
Do we have to look at commander cards too?
Oh,
No, they're not commander cards. They're eternal legal cards. Come on.
Where?
did not look at
Where
them.
do I find these?
So go to Scryfall.
A few minutes later.
Oh, yeah, I didn't look at those at all.
There
I
wasn't
also did not look
anything
at these.
super cool. Man.
I'm glad Cameron did the work for us.
Yeah.
Oh, and another, I guess, top line thing I actually wanted to mention too is that I don't know exactly.
I see what you're talking about.
I don't know exactly how good all of these new lessons will be, because we do have a new Strixhaven set coming up too, and they could make some of these like
It could make some cool learn cards.
legitimately cool options. So again, that's why I think this is a more open-ended set than anything else.
Yeah.
But some of those lessons, a lot of the common ones are Quench is what a lesson, which isn't bad. Like if you just depends, I think that's more based off in the future what we get off Strixhaven. If we get more learn, we might not even get more learn from Strixhaven. It'd be kind of weird.
I would like to think
I assume
we
that there
would.
are. I assume that we will probably get that.
Because I was looking at some learn cards currently, and we don't have a ton.
I mean,
of
they
options.
they're working ahead in time. They probably imagine that this flows into that kind of nicely. Like if you give you a bunch of these, like they don't have anything to do right now, but like they've done that before, where they give you something and they just don't have anything to do with it now, like Tarmogoyf. They gave Tarmogoyf text that nobody knew for what reason what a planeswalker was. So things like that.
But it was good when it came out. Still,
I mean,
yeah, like sadistically, it wasn't good when it came out.
You get my point.
Yeah, like sadistically.
Yeah, this card's not good for a million
20 years.
23 years.
Yeah.
It was not good, and then it was.
Wolfclove Villager is the white card that I've been dancing around. White 2/2. This creature enters tapped, so you can play this on turn 1. Get in there on turn 2. Get in there for 2. It's tapped again. You play your Spider-Man, and you return this back, and you play it again. So that's like 5 power in turn 2. That's not terrible.
That's not nothing.
No. So there we go. We'll mention that too.
Cool.
I didn't realize
That was a mess.
I didn't realize that there was a million
More cards to look at.
cards to look at.
Yeah.
I did not. I'm so sorry.
I forgive you. You can ask for God's forgiveness later.
I think I'll have to pass on that one.
Yeah, nothing crazy. Like we had Unagi spray. I'm surprised, Thomas, you would have liked Unagi spray. Did you see this one?
Ooh.
Blue mana instant.
Hang on. We're not on blue yet.
Oh, do you have a white card?
No. But if I have a blue card.
Oh. Would you like to share your blue card with us?
Yeah, I'd love to share my blue card. I don't know if this is going to see play, but this is the first blue creature I think we've really gotten this from. This is Forecasting Fortune Teller. This is 1 and a blue for a human advisor ally. It's a 1/3, and when it enters, create a clue token. So just extra mana, extra point of toughness than your inspectors, but it's in blue, so if you want a blue creature that can make a clue, now you have it.
It's like Augur Bolus, but it never misses. And you have to pay 2 mana to draw the card.
Yeah, it's like 5 mana Augur Bolus that always draws a card.
Instead of not drawing a card.
That's true.
Yeah, I did want to talk about Unagi Spray at some point. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a cool card. Hippo, do you have a blue card?
That was my one blue card.
Okay. Yeah, I have a blue card. It's another lesson that I could see seeing play in the future. Waterbending lesson. Sorcery lesson. Oh, I hate that. That's a mouthful. Draw 3 cards and discard a card unless you waterbend 2, and it costs 3 and a blue. I should probably mention that. So to waterbend 2, it's an additional cost to cast a spell. You have to pay 2, but it says while paying a waterbend cost, you can tap your artifacts and creatures to help. Each one pays for 1.
Yeah, that was kind of why that was the thing that made me think that was like, what were those waterbending cards? I was like, that made me think. I was like, oh, there's some potential for things to be cool here. I'm just not going to be able to quickly identify like that. So
the card's casting cost is 3 and a blue, but essentially it's 6. And 2 of that kind of has pseudo convoke / what was the other? Improvise. So
yeah.
That's /
cool.
or you can just pay it. So it is a draw 3 discard unless you waterbend 2. So I guess you don't have to pay that additional cost too. You could draw the 3 and discard 2. It is a sorcery, but just depending what we get from Strixhaven, if there is something that could that's already on rate that puts something like a 4 mana draw 3. Discard 1 card maybe, or maybe just a 4 mana draw 3 in general, could be happy to have that. A lot of this does just depend on that. And again, I mentioned there's a lesson that's just quench. Like I think it'll quench you.
Yep.
It's kind of a target spell and still pay 2. That's another good one. You'd be happy if a card is on rate if it just drew you a quench.
Yeah, there's like a +1/+1 untap your guy hexproof one as well. So that'd be another kind of cool one.
Like shore up style type effect.
Cards.
Yep. I remember seeing that. I think that was octopus form.
Yeah, I think so.
The other blue card that Cameron was alluding to that I forgot was here that I did think was interesting enough to talk about. I don't think this breaks through more than like maybe a copy, but I think it's interesting to think about. This is Unagi's Spray. This is a single blue mana for an instant. Target creature gets -4/-0 until end of turn. If you control a fish, octopus, otter, seal, serpent, or whale,
why'd you say serpent like
draw a
that?
card. Well, you see, Tolarian Terror and Cryptic Serpent are serpents.
Oh, I thought you were thinking like steel thin whale combo.
You could put this in still. Yeah, I mean, when you play the whale, you're probably going to try and win.
Yeah.
But in your terror deck, you could throw this in like 1 or 2 copies if it ideally a cantrip, but it could also shrink something. You can
have a cute mirror breaker.
It is kind of a cute mirror breaker in a way. These effects have always where -4/-0, but draw a card if you control a certain creature type. They have been very strong in blue limited decks whenever that's a possibility for like a reasonable card to play.
Can you open this in limited?
No, but like there's one from
sure?
This.
How do you open it?
It's in the starter pack.
Oh, it is? Okay,
yeah,
cool.
These are the little like airship symbol is like they're like starter decks.
I thought it was also just like eternal legal cards too.
Well, they are technically eternal legal, but they're in the form of like a starter pack or a starter deck or something.
It's like the jumpstart cards, basically.
Kind of, yeah. But it's like specifically for Avatar. The set that this really popped off on was Zendikar Rising. It was this exact text, but just if you control a wizard, draw a card. And that was really, really good in that draft set for a number of reasons. So anytime something ends up really popping off in a limited set, it's something to at least give a little bit of a thought of in Pauper. And
I'm actually that expansion symbol is the TLE. So you can open them in play boosters.
Okay.
Contain cards from TLA and TLE. So I think the starter kit all have the TLE symbol.
Yeah.
But not everything with the TLE symbol is standard legal.
Correct.
I think nothing with that symbol is standard legal.
Correct.
Actually.
That's confusing.
Yep.
Good news, I don't play standard. I don't have to worry about it.
So yeah, it's a card. It's an option.
Jesus Christ.
Shrink a thing. Draw a card. Ideally, it's fine.
I saw someone mention somewhere that the tricky part about that is you really want the cantripping cards pre-terror because that's what sets you up into the terror. You care less about like your mental notes, thought scours once you already have the terror in play. But this is kind of interesting with the idea of I'm offering a trade. Do you take it? That's always what could they have when your mirror opponent swings their 5/5 serpent to your 5/5 serpent. Tricky stuff.
Right. Another layer to think about.
So I like that. Any other blue cards? Oh,
That's all I got.
that is all I got too.
Oh, yeah, that's it for me. Sorry.
Black cards to you, James.
I got first one. It wouldn't be a hippo if it wasn't about an inspector.
Yeah.
It's a single black for the Callous Inspector. It's a human soldier 1/1. It has menace, and then whenever it dies, it deals 1 damage to you, and you create a clue token. First place my brain went to was just like the mono black sack deck. I was like, it sacks into something.
Yeah.
Right, but that thing is not a creature.
It is not a creature, but it does put you forward on something. But that was it's also really hard to block this thing.
It is.
So
Menace makes it hard to block.
it does make it hard to
If
block.
there was ever like a black aggro deck that we ever inch closer to, it is interesting.
Yep. So
It is a piece of cardboard that
it does make another piece
It
of
makes
cardboard.
another rectangle.
I like making rectangles.
Something to think about. I don't know if it slots in over any of the creature token makers.
I'm not saying that it does
But
now. I think
so.
things would probably have to look a little bit different for it to do that. But
Yeah.
there you go.
If there's a grindier sacrifice deck that cares more about just like accruing value over time, then this could
Yeah, the
probably
problem
slot
is
into
that
that one.
the way things line up, just not. I don't think it's there yet.
No.
I have purple Pentapus. Purple Pentapus. Black for a 1/1 creature, octopus starfish. When this creature enters, surveil 1. You can pay 2 and a black, tap an untapped creature you control, return this card from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. So it's just another recursive dude to be getting back. The Saki deck kind of seems to be very, I'm going to kill you this turn. Not if it was more of a methodical, wear you down like from cuts and bruises, like slowly, a 3 mana kind of recurring skeleton, whatever that card's called, wouldn't be terrible in that.
Yep.
So we saw like retro whatever from MH3, the 4 mana return it with some counters, see some play. And this isn't terrible, and like it giving the surveil is interesting. I just don't know what would want this. You know? I wish it was tap an untapped creature or artifact. That'd be crazy good. If
Yeah,
this,
that would be pretty good.
if it was, but I don't want to get into if it was this, I guess too much.
Right.
You know, that doesn't do us too good. I'm just trying to think of a deck that would want a 1/1 that could recur like this. It's Deadly Dispute fodder that keeps coming back. And it's a real one. It's not nothing. No, thought it was interesting.
Cool. My next card here, this might be the Earthbend card you're talking about. This is Dai Li Indoctrination.
It was.
It's 1 and a black for a sorcery lesson, and it's a modal card, which is most of the reason why it's here for me. It says target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a non-land permanent card from it. That player discards that card. So kind of a pseudo Thoughtseize in some ways. And then the other option is Earthbend 2. And Earthbending, as we talked about before, you turn your land into a 0/0 creature with haste. You put 2 counters on it, and then when it dies or is exiled, it gets to come back to the battlefield tapped. So that's the kind of getting to use your fetch land twice element that Cameron was alluding to. I just think it's interesting in that it can either be a creature or hand interaction. It's also a lesson, so if we have a decent learn spell to go get, this is another decent option to have in your board. But I also really like the cheap Earthbend with fetch lands idea with this. It could potentially be like a part of a Cleansing Wildfire-ish engine, though you need to wait to do this on at least on turn 3 at the earliest.
You could do it turn 2, but then you don't get the land until turn 3.
You could, yes, that's true. You could, yes, because the landscapes do tap for colorless. Yes, yeah, absolutely.
You can still do it turn 2. It's just you don't reap the benefits right away.
Right.
And there's no really downside because if they exile it, blink it, whatever, it's gonna come back tapped.
Right.
So, I guess the downside is if you do it on turn 2 and they kill it, you don't get the extra land. Because you wouldn't sack for the land, you would die to nothing. So
but then if they're using their removal spell on your land, then
happy. That comes back. Yeah, you're happy with that.
It's interesting.
Hippo, did you have a black card? Another one?
Nope.
I have Deadly Precision, black sorcery. As an additional cast a spell. Pay 4, sacrifice an artifact or creature, destroy target creature.
So I considered it,
these.
but I will give Cameron the benefit on this one. It does change the word. You can sack an artifact.
Artifacts.
There's that card exists.
Does it already exist?
Yes.
What is it?
Oh.
Yes, there's multiple that let you sack a creature or artifact to do exactly this.
I thought it was like sack
No.
a creature or sack a.
Tell me.
There's one that's creature, there's one that's creature or enchantment, there's one that's creature or artifact.
Well,
They
burn the
all
proofs
already
on you.
exist.
Because I always thought about this one, but I
Pause
didn't.
the podcast.
I didn't actually put it on there because I just assumed that it's like all of the other ones.
Black.
You Scryfall searching.
Legal and Pauper. Annihilating Glare from 1, sacrifice, pay 4, or sacrifice an artifact or creature.
Whoops.
Embrace Oblivion from Edge of Eternity, sacrifice an artifact or creature.
Okay.
It also kills a spacecraft.
So that card doesn't exist in this podcast?
Additional cost, sacrifice creature.
Yeah.
Well, that card, it's bad.
My next card.
But this has my on it on the art. Does that make it more playable?
I have the next card.
I have one last black card.
Oh, you have another black card.
I have one last black card. We've seen a number of these before. This is similar to Cameron's. This is Merchant of Many Hats. It's 1 and a black for 2/2. For 2 and a black, you can return it from your graveyard to your hand. There's a number of cards where you can just return them. Pay the 2 and a black to return it to play, but this one specifically returns it to hand. The other 2/2 for 2 that does this, it costs 5 mana to return it back to your hand.
Interesting.
Durable Coil Bug.
And the same you said how much?
It's a 2 mana 2/2.
Okay.
So like
pay 2 to return to your hand.
pay 3 to return it from graveyard to hand,
okay.
which like it's steep, but like it is I think the cheapest of this that we've gotten for 2 mana 2/2 in black. So I don't think it's gonna break anything, or really maybe it shows up
Wasn't
as
it
a
the
single copy, but
Doesn't the Transmograte return it to play? Not the Transmograte. So there's another black one that you can return it straight to play. I think it's 3 mana.
it's at least 3 or 4
Yeah, I think it's
to
3.
return straight into play.
I think it's 3 mana. It
But this
comes,
back,
comes to play tapped 3 mana.
but I mean specifically back to your hand for like discarding shenanigans. So
Yeah.
but even then.
That's kind of interesting. Yeah.
Just something to note. Just a rate improvement. I don't think this is necessarily going to show up anywhere, but just I like to note when we're getting a slight improvement on rate, so that if one of these days it does like cross a line, then we kind of have a sliding. Like we've kind of seen it come to this at this. I don't know. Words.
Use them wisely.
Yeah.
I try.
Me too.
All right. Any more black cards?
No.
All right. How to Start a Riot. It's a red card. It's 2 and a red for an instant lesson.
Mm-hmm.
Target creature gains menace until end of turn, and then creatures target player controls get +2/+0 until end of turn.
You can target your opponent's creatures.
You could target your opponent's creatures technically if you needed to make them power, if
your
their power
opponent,
greater. But no, this is just cool. This is a cool one you can grab from the sideboard. Yeah, assuming that lessons are a thing that are good at some point. That's why it's here for me. The one card that I did consider was this. It is actually pretty decent in the if assuming the deck returns. I don't know that it will, but it's the Goblin combo deck. Because if you just play a bunch of like Goblin Matrons and whatever along those lines, and then you just don't have you just can't find a way to kill them through whatever points of interaction, then you can just I don't know, just anthem your team and attack them. That seems pretty good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Yeah.
I like it.
I had 1 red card. It was Freedom Fighter Recruit. 1 and a red for a creature, human, rebel, ally. Star 2. Freedom Fighter Recruit's power is equal to the number of the creatures you control. It's kind of an interesting payoff there. I don't know if that really has a place in the current rally deck that likes to go wide. Just because the pushing through the damage can be pretty hard. But it is something to think about.
That's really cool.
Yeah, so if you end up Kadoltha doesn't exist anymore.
No.
What is wrong in my head?
As much as you want it to.
If you end up a rally in this in play, maybe you have a Wonder Up and a rally in this that is 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 4 creatures in play. It is a 4/2, but it kind of dwindles fast. It's easy to chump, but it is something.
It's true.
It's also a human for Rally of the Hornberg, giving your humans haste. So also something to think about with some Burning Tree Emissary chains.
That is kind of cool.
Yeah. That's kind of nice.
That is interesting.
Yeah.
Cool. Red humans.
Yeah. Speaking of red humans, Fire Nation Cadets. Single red mana for a human soldier. This is a 1/2. This creature has Firebending 2 as long as there's a lesson card in your graveyard. And what that means is whenever this creature attacks, add red to your mana pool, and this mana lasts until end of combat. This really only will see play if you have relevant lessons, if there's some lessons either here or Strixhaven that end up being very strong. But having this thing attack, if you meet the requirement, having this thing attack and add red to your mana pool, I think is a very powerful thing to do. And the floor is it has an activated ability for two generic mana. This creature gets +1/+0 until end of turn, which also means that this is another recipient of, if you have infinite mana, you can make this infinitely large for its power and get in for to win the game. So I think there are some neat little things going on with this, and at its floor, it's a single mana 1/2. It's also a human for like a Rally at the Hornburg style deck.
There are 2 red lessons that exist. One of them is How to Start a Riot, and the other one is Firebending Lesson, which red instant lesson, kicker 4, deals 2 damage to target creature. The spell is kicked, deals 5 damage instead, which isn't unplayable.
There's another red lesson that I'm going to talk about later.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
How did I miss this?
You'll see.
Oh, okay.
It's multicolored.
Oh, okay, got you. That's how, because I Scryfall search for red. Yeah. Got you. Hippo, you got any other red cards?
I got one.
Hit me.
Cunning Maneuver. 1 in a red for an instant. Target creature gains +3/+1 until end of turn, and everybody knows that I'm a sucker for making clues, because it makes a clue too.
Mm-hmm. I took that off my list, just I think it would be a little inefficient, but it is a pump spell that makes a clue / an artifact, which could come up.
Noted. Makes a piece of cardboard.
Yeah. They also gave us a single red mana for a 2/1 human, just vanilla, which is also something to think about for this like human aggro deck if you wanted to put it together.
If you Cunning Maneuver your is it Glazing Fiend, which is the 2 mana Mesmeric Fiend?
Glaze Fiend, the
Glaze
artifact.
Fiend. Yeah, it gives it +5.
Yeah. I'm a fan of Glaze Fiend. It's still not as good as Vampire's Kiss.
No, that's
Vampire's
so
Kiss
sick.
is +6. It's 6 damage.
That interaction's so dope. Green?
Yeah.
Origin of Metal Bending. 1 green, instant lesson. Choose 1. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature control, gains indestructible until end of turn. We've seen Heritage Reclamation be really good with that modality, flexibility type stuff. But I think that is Spy being such a big thing in the format, that the modality of hitting an artifact enchantment
or something in the graveyard
is huge. So I don't think that would see play. But again, it just depends on what's important. And I guess it depends on what's more important in your meta, protecting your creature or having insulation against a graveyard combo deck.
Agreed.
That's all I have. And again, it's a lesson. So
I do want to call I don't have any green cards picked out, but I do want to call out that there is a card called Hippo Cows that looks very funny.
I have 1.
What is your card? There's also a frog squirrels. What the hell?
Yeah.
Mine is
world is kind of cool.
You ready for this? The Saber-Tooth Moose Lion.
Yeah.
So it's just a big idiot, honestly. It's 4 green for a 7/7 with. If you just need a body, like you just need a huge dude, this thing is huge, and it 4 cycles for 2.
Yeah.
It's an elk cat.
It is an elk cat.
Oh.
It's like right in line with like Greater Sandworm. It's like here's a 2 mana cycler that like you can reanimate in green.
I just thought
which is always interesting to me.
It's a fun name on that one.
Ooh,
that's it for green.
Actually, I will call out one more. Raucous Audience. It's 1 and a green for a 2/1 human citizen. It taps for a green mana, but if you control a creature with power 4 or greater, it adds 2 green mana instead.
Okay.
Potentially interesting. I'm not sure.
So it seems he was
A 1 and a green.
okay.
Yeah, 2 mana, 2/1.
Yeah, 2 dorks are kind of hard too. You know,
It's true.
we got elves in play. Thomas, you said you had a multicolored card in there?
I do have a multicolored card. So
hybrid ones?
I have, Abandon Attachments. This is 1, and that's the one you had, a 1 and a blue-red hybrid mana, so 2 mana total for an instant lesson. You may discard a card. If you do, draw 2 cards. So just straight up, discard a card, draw 2. We see this in a lot of red effects, but this is a 2 mana version of that for for now blue to have access to. So, and this is also like a lesson that would be pretty good to just have in your main deck with that like 1 drop that fire bends if you have a lesson in your guard, stuff like that. I think it's interesting if you really want the 2 mana draw 2 effect in blue. There's a handful of blue madness spells like Circular Logic that you could potentially play around. Is circular logic Pauper legal?
It is.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Great. Cool. Great. Cool. That was almost
It's in the old
risky.
It's in the old tribe deck.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right. I'm like, I swear I've seen it before. So just something interesting to note. I don't think that it certainly is not nearly as powerful as your brainstorms, ponders, preordains of the like. Even certainly not stronger than mental note, thought scour in the terror decks. But it is another option that gives you access to stuff. If you have stuff that cares about casting multicolored spells, this is something to throw in the mix. There's a handful of cards that care about that aren't maybe super relevant, but if you just add enough of these, maybe something pops up down the line. Just something to note. And I think it's interesting that not only is it lessons you get access, you can get access to it whenever, but it's also a blue 2-mana discard draw 2, which I thought was interesting.
Okay.
Did y'all have any other hybrid cards or gold cards?
Yes, actually, I did have one.
Go for it.
I have Vindictive Warden. So 2 and then either red or black. For a 2/3 with Menace, it's a human soldier. There's more humans. It's got Firebending 1, so when it attacks you make a red, and that lasts until the end of combat. And then it has pay 3. This creature deals 1 damage to each opponent. So this is just like another way for assuming that you can make infinite mana of some variety. You can win with it.
Just gotcha. I was looking at this. I'm like, man, this card's terrible. I'm like, gotcha. That makes sense though. Just another way. Yeah.
Just another way.
Mm-hmm.
There's a bunch of menace threats here too, and someone was talking about this in Discord, and I've also thought about this card. I gotta look up what it is. So Thomas, be patient with me as I do here.
Okay, we'll be patient.
It's
Croissant.
Menace,
What are you doing?
Pauper, Ikoria. The card I'm thinking of is Tentative Connection from Ikoria. It's 3 and a red for a sorcery, but it costs 3 less if you 3 less to cast if you control a creature with menace, and it's an active treason. Gain control of target creature till end of turn. Untap that creature, gains haste until end of turn. So it's a single mana steal their creature temporarily if you have a creature with menace. And there's a number of decent creatures with menace in this set alone, plus other creatures throughout Pauper that are like fairly reasonable on rate that you could potentially make steal your guy, get an attack, sacrifice it to something,
Yeah, it is interesting. Huh.
I don't know. Again, I say that with the caveat of like, this is where my brew brain is going.
Yeah. Is that enough to like make an archetype kind of thing? Yeah, I get you. That is interesting.
More to be announced on the brewing brain.
Uh-oh. Any other cards y'all had?
Yes.
Yes. Go ahead, James.
So with these cards that turn your creatures into lands, the Rumble Arena,
Or your lands into creatures.
or lands into creatures, you know what I meant.
Yeah.
I have Rumble Arena. It has Vigilance. And then whenever this land enters, it's scry once and irrelevant. It's ability that already exists on the cards. It's good. It's a good ability. It's like, what's the Cove or whatever.
Yeah,
From
like the
Ixalan
cryptic
set.
whatever.
You know what I'm talking about. That one. Then it just does like the filter impression. Either taps for 1 or tap it and tap one other to filter. But just having it have like an ability, kind of cool. So you can attack with it and then use it for mana. Like assuming that you can turn your land into a creature. But there are more ways to do that now.
Interesting with the Brave the Wilds I've been talking about.
That's the card. That's the card that really actually gave me that thought.
Just has vigilance.
Indestructible or Vigilance?
Which one do you want? Yeah, Kinko Artificer on
Choices.
But speaking of lands, there is a full cycle of 10 new dual lands here. They all enter tapped. They tap for either color. And they also have 4 taps, sacrifice this land, draw a card. Which I think is interesting in the late game if you have a control deck. And I think you might want to throw 1 or 2 of these in there, because then you can just turn your land into a card down the line, which I think is pretty cool. Other than that, we got some neat Avatar reprints of the Thriving Lands, but I think the Gates have kind of taken over that space.
Yeah, Gates. Gates always. Gates forever.
Gates forever.
100 episodes
Cool.
of Gates. We talk about Gates. Only Gates.
But no, it's cool. The set, it looks fun. I don't know how much actual drafting of the set I'll do, but it looks like it'll be a fun and interesting format. And I'm excited to just play some more Pauper soon.
Art's really sick.
Mm-hmm.
Already mentioned that.
Agreed.
It does make me even more excited for Lorwyn in the new year, though.
Fair. Yeah, that's very fair. Any closing thoughts y'all have?
I want to get a couple housekeeping things in the end here. I want to let folks know that there are still plans ongoing for getting some introductory plans for a US version of Pauper. However, I personally have taken a step back from being a part of the planning for that. I just have too much stuff going on in my personal life right now and my work life that as Hana's practitioners are saying, I just don't have the spoons to
the spoons are not there.
Katie says that a lot. Spoon theory.
Yeah, I just don't have enough spoons to handle this at this time. But I'm still very happy. I'm sure any of us would be happy to refer people to the right people if anyone's interested in getting involved. We still have a channel open in our Discord for discussion on it. Jake Kalikais is involved. Mitch from upstate New York Pauper Open, Dave the Harbor Master from the Pacific Northwest. There's a bunch of people who are in there really taking the lead. Emma Partlow's in there, Mark Mason from NRG, and the European Paupergeddon folks are also getting involved as well. So there's some potential cool stuff on the horizon. But myself personally, I'm taking a little bit more of a back seat, and we'll probably get more involved, all three of us, as maybe this gets a little bit closer to realization, and seeing how we can contribute and help out. But other than that, just Common Ground Cup, January 31st, game night Tennessee, or game night in Columbia, Tennessee. It's game night TN on all the socials, but game night Columbia, Tennessee, and every Thursday in the Nashville area here, you can come to Middle Tennessee Gaming and hang with our local Pauper League.
Come draw off me round one and me draw.
Yeah. I heard about that.
Oh, we get to find out the results for this week. I think it's either me or Mr. Silly.
I will put money on Scintillus.
It's probably
gotta be Scintillus.
I felt so bad. Me and Brute. We end up drawing. He's like, I'll just give it to you. I'll concede. And you probably win. I'm like, oh, no. I'm like, it's round one. We're probably going to draw. Like, it's round one. Like, we could still both get in. Like, let's just take the draw. He's like, I'm like, whatever. I'm like, let's just draw. And so we just draw. And then I'm like, oh, actually, I got to leave. I'm like, my bad, after I already put it in. That was pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
He's good people.
Good people.
He is
Very
good people.
He's funny.
Oh, he watched me almost crash out after I was playing Mono White with him.
Crash out?
I almost getting
crazy.
Crash out. A little bit of an exaggeration. He was playing Blue Red Terror and I was playing Mono White, and I was like on 4 mana. He like tapped down to 1 mana. I'm like, oh, on 4 mana, cast this battle screen. He's just like spell pierce. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me! Ah! It was like my Mono White deck's not just be getting owned by spell pierce.
Gotcha though.
But it did get me. It was pretty good. We had a close match. It was fun.
If you made it this far, thank you so much for listening. If you got any comments, questions, concerns, you can join our Discord and you can ask us those questions in the little question thingy. Come see some cool people. If Discord's not your jam, we also have an email, commongroundmtgpod@gmail.com. Both of those things are in the description below. We like hearing your questions around with your topic ideas. Sky, we got yours. It's pretty banging. There's enough meat on the bone for its own episode.
That's just gonna be a whole episode.
Dang straight. How many reviews do we got? Sorry.
I don't know. I hope it's 101.
I hope it's above 100.
Is it 99?
It is... Oh my god, come on. Jesus, why did you put me all the way there? 103! Y'all rock. Good job. Y'all are the best. If you haven't left a review yet, go do so. Thanks. That's all I got.
Yeah.
Until next week.
Thanks for hanging, fam.
Later.
We'll talk to you next week.
Bye! You can ask us those questions in the little question thingy.